Register your ISBN. More protection. We talked about getting an ISBN in a previous video, but this one is what you do after you've published your book. You need to register your ISBN. Now that your book is published, you're going to want to go back out to My Identifiers where you purchased your ISBN numbers and register your book title to that ISBN number. So what you need to do is go back out to the site where you purchased them, myidentifiers.com, and sign in. Once you're signed in, you can click on the welcome and where it says your name, click on that link. And then at the top here, you're going to see 3 links. It says My Identifiers, My Subscriptions, My Services. If you click on My Identifiers, it's going to take you to the list of your ISBN numbers that you purchased. Whether you purchased 1 or you purchased 10, they're going to be listed. As you can see, I have one listed here and it says pending. That's because I was playing around on it for this video. Even though I didn't make any changes to it, it thinks that I made changes to it. So it says pending. And if you hover over it, it tells you that it will take up to 48 hours to process. So that's a good example of if you do anything with your ISBN numbers, it's going to tell you the status right there in that column, and it should take up to 48 hours to make any changes. I'm going to go ahead and click on Assign Title. As you can see, this row is the ISBN numbers that I have purchased, and in this column where you click Assign Title is where you're actually going to go ahead and put your book title in and all the information that they ask of you. You'll want to fill out the information like starting with your book title, the subtitle, your book description, the medium and format. This is the type of book that you have. If you choose print book, they're going to want to know what kind of print. Is it hardback or is it paperback? Typically, you're buying an ISBN number for a print book. If for some reason you are purchasing it for one of these other books, you're going to get this message. If you're going in here and you're changing your medium, it's just going to make sure you want to do that. On an audio book, they're going to ask you what form. Is it a CD, a DVD, or is it a downloadable audio file, which nowadays most of them are downloadable. For an ebook, format is automatically going to be electronic book text, but over here in this column, ebook file type, you're going to have to choose which type of an ebook, what the file format is. But again, typically you don't purchase an ISBN number for an ebook, so it's probably going to be a print book. Then where it says subjects and genres, this is where you're going to want to pick a primary genre and a secondary. You don't necessarily have to have that secondary. I don't believe. The first genre is required, but secondary does not have the red asterisk next to it, so it is not required. But you might as well go ahead and pick one. For instance, let's just say your book has something to do with something that's spiritual. So you might want to click religion, and then the second one, just want to scroll, see if you can find anything that matches. You got spirituality. It could be self-help. If it somehow relates to self-help, maybe spirituality. These genres are not going to be real specific. As you can see, they're pretty vague, so you're just going to have to pick something that is probably the umbrella that it seems to fit under the best and fill it out the best that you can. Contributors, here you can pick which kind of contributor it is. You see the function down here. Select all that apply, and then you're going to put the names in and so forth. You're just going to want to go through each one of these fields and fill them in as they are required. The publisher is who's ever publishing your book. This can be your own name. When you're self-publishing, you don't have to have a publisher name. You can just use your own name if you want. If you have a business name and you plan on writing more books and maybe you want to have it all under that umbrella of your business, you might want to put your business name in here. Whatever you put on Amazon is what you need to put in here. They have to match. Whether you're using your name as your publisher, whether you're making up a publisher name. I happen to have a ministry that is my umbrella that I put everything underneath, so I'm using my ministry name. Whatever you want to use is okay. It just has to match what you have on Amazon. Publication date, this is when you've published it, so the month, the day, the year, you're going to want all of this information filled out. I'm not going to go through all of this. I will go ahead and show you mine. I will pull that one of mine up. Okay, so I'll pull this one up and show you what it looks like once you've actually completed the application process. It's not really an application, but you're going out and you're registering it. You see all that information that's on the registration page breaks down into basically 4 categories: your title and cover, contributors, format and size, and sales and pricing. Here's where you enter in, see where the title's in, this is the description, all of that. This is what it's going to look like when you filled it out. Library of Congress number, I touched on this in another video. This is not a required number that you need. It's optional if you want it. If you signed up for it, then you'll have to go back out to the Library of Congress and pull up your number, and this is where you would enter it into this field. These are the contributors again. I have author selected on mine. Now in the format and size. Mine's a print book, it's a paperback. Format details, when you're filling out the registration, you're going to have to scroll through and pick the one that you want. And then it shows up over here. So, but I'll just show you, there's a lot of options here. I have paperback chosen, and this is, it populates over here. Packaging, if you were packaging something up in, a box, this gives you the description, what it's like, if that applied. Okay, size and details. This is where Amazon is going to come into play and really be helpful for you. I'm going to go out and pull up a book on Amazon, and just so you can see where to get the information. Okay, after you have a book pulled up, if you scroll down to the area where it says product details, this is where you're going to pull information from. So go back to your registration. The size details, they want to know the weight of your book. Well, who knows the weight of your book, right? Well, Amazon does. You have 2 choices, pounds or kilograms. So you go over here, this drop-down menu, you can pick kilograms or pounds. If you go back to this book, and right here it says item weight 6.4 ounces. Well, what does that equate to in pounds? So you can go out to Google and just search ounce to pound conversion. And in here, if you were to put 6.4, that would equal a 0.4 pound. So you'd go back to your registration, and then in here is where you would put 0.4. My book happens to be 0.631 in pounds. And the number of pages, you can find that on Amazon as well. Right here, it'll tell you 160 pages is what this book has, and you would put that in this field as well. If you have illustrations, they want to know how many illustrations there are. Carton quantity, if you're selling things in like a carton of more than one, they want to know how many are in the quantity. On the right-hand side is the size of the book. You can choose between centimeters, inches, or millimeters. The length of the book, they give you a little diagram. Number 1 relates to length, number 2 relates to width, and number 3 relates to the height. So make sure you're following the diagram and not putting your dimensions in the wrong field. I originally had done that and had to correct them. So the length of my book is 8 inches, the width is 5 inches, the height is a half of an inch. Here you can see the genres that I chose, and then the sales and pricing. Publisher, again, this is the publisher name. Make sure that that matches what you have on Amazon. All the information I showed you on that other screen of when you published it, all of that, how much you are pricing it for, what currency you're putting it in. This is what it's going to look like when you go in and register it. You want to make sure that you do this as soon as possible after you've published your book. As you can see, your paperback needs to be published before you can fill this out because you're not going to know the weight of your book until you do. Couple reasons why you want to make sure that this is filled out is, one, it's a protection for you. Your book is registered to this ISBN number. And it also helps you if you did purchase 10 so that you don't accidentally use the same ISBN number more than once. So this is the last piece that you need to do with your ISBN number once you've published your book, is to go out here and register it so that ISBN number is tied to your book title and all the information that goes along with that.